I see the same 5 mistakes contractors making with local SEO. In the last 15 years I've been in this business managing hundreds of different client campaigns. I see the same stuff over and over. And so if you're making these mistakes, you'll know it right away. You'll know what the fixes are. And if you stay till the end, you will notice, and I'll point out to you, the number one common thread that's tying all of these mistakes together. So let's jump into it. In order, from top to bottom, most important to least important in this list is number one, your Google Maps location. Right now, Google is playing favorites. There's two things you need to be aware of here. Number one is proximity. So how close the searcher is to your actual Google business listing dictates heavily if your business will show up in that search or not. So the first thing is proximity. You can't usually do anything about that unless you move the location of your business. But the other piece that you do have an effect on is if your business address is visible, or if it's set up as a service area business where customers can't see where the business is located. Google is playing favorites. Businesses that have addresses are vastly outperforming businesses that don't have addresses. It's a legitimacy signal, right? So even if you just have a shop and you don't want customers visiting, it's still worth it to create your listing in such a way or update it so that the address is visible. You will get so much more out of that Google business profile than if you have it set up as a service area business. And in the description below this video, I've got more resources, other videos that talk more in depth about Google Maps and its critical importance in generating local results. So that's the first one. The second one is poor site structure. So what does that mean? It means that even if your business starts out small and it has a small footprint, let's say 5, even 10 pages on it, there needs to be a plan in mind for how the site will grow over time. And then what you see often is that businesses growing over time, where they're doing a do-it-yourself kind of approach, have what we would call like a Frankenstein site by the time that we get our hands or we get our eyes on it. And there's not been a thoughtful path for growing that site, and so the overall site structure struggles. So you can think about it like this. If you're going to go look a book up in the library, it might have been a while since you've been in a library, right? Me too. Go look up a book in the library. If you're looking for a fantasy book in the nonfiction section, you're probably not going to find it. Poor site structure is similar. If your website doesn't have things in the places where Google would expect it or a user would expect it, if they can't find it, if it's buried somewhere and it's impossible to find, that's poor site structure, and it impacts the overall effect of your entire site and your local search engine optimization efforts. Okay, so it's poor site structure. And I can give some more details about that here in the next 2 top mistakes. Because number 3 is not having enough service pages on the website. So think about it like this. I had a pest control client once that came to us, and all they had on the website was a home page, an about page, and a contact page. And on the home page, they just listed the main pests that they treated. So they had like ants. We're here in the Southwest. They had ants. They had skunks. They had cockroaches, and then they had mice. But when we started working with them, we realized that they were treating up to 16 different types of pests and problems here in our area, Albuquerque, New Mexico. So the first things we did is we added all these new pages to the website, one for each type of pest that they had a solution for. And what do you know? People started finding them in search like crazy for things like weed control that they didn't previously have on the website. It was listed as a line item, a checkbox on the home page, but it never had its own dedicated page. So we added all these pages, and then suddenly they're getting found for all these extra services that they already offered, but Google didn't understand how important they were. They didn't have their own page dedicated towards it. That's mistake number 3. Not enough service pages to describe fully what it is that you do. Number 4 are no location pages or no location-based keywords. So this happens a lot when a website designer puts together the website and they say it's SEO friendly, but they don't really know much about SEO strategy. And so they'll put accurate descriptions of what each page is. I talked about the pest control company, skunk removal, ant exterminator, these things would be the titles of the different pages you put together. But if you operate in a particular geography, you also need to put information about that geography on the pages and put pages together that are specific for the different geographies. So if you are a service area business and you are out of a main hub, like Denver, Colorado, but you serve a bunch of the suburbs in the northern side of the city, you would also list and have pages for those other suburbs, including Denver. Okay, so Denver's the big city, it's the hub, and then additional pages for those other areas. People searching in those areas, if your pages don't have any mention of the city that you operate in, Google doesn't know that you're the best match. And neither would the searcher. They wouldn't have the confidence to know when they're looking at other web pages that do have all the information on it. That's the fourth biggest mistake. So no location pages, nothing on the website that's targeting specific locations, or not enough information on each page about the service areas that you represent. The fifth and final big mistake that I see frequently is that businesses have not set themselves up correctly with free Google Analytics and Google Search Console. So oftentimes when we take over a campaign from a previous vendor, one of the things that's missing is Google Search Console. We see this a lot. A lot of times Google Analytics is set up. It's pretty standard for most businesses, even if they're not involved in SEO or website design. They know they kind of need to have it on there. But they don't put in Google Search Console, which measures the overall effectiveness of the website in a Google search result. And so missing that information, you have no idea if you start a new Google campaign or if you make decisions with your website that you're hoping will improve its effectiveness. If you have no historical data, you have no way of knowing if it was actually good, if it was actually effective, if it's putting you in the right direction, or if you're just going off of feelings, right, without the data. And so having the data is a very powerful place that you need to be as a business owner to know whether your SEO is working or not, right? So these are the 5 big things. Quick recap. Okay, maps location, visible address. Okay, second one, poor site structure. Third one, no service pages, not enough of them. Fourth one, no location info or location pages on the website. And the fifth one is no tracking or lack of tracking. Now, the one thing that ties all these together is a solid strategy, right? When you have a solid strategy in place, all of these things are taken into account. All the things that we just talked about. Right? And so if you're lacking these things, maybe you've been doing it yourself, or maybe you trusted a friend or a cousin to do it, and it just seems like they're coming up short. They might not have had the strategy. You're seeing this video now, they're missing some of these things. They might not have had the strategy in place to bring it all together. We do here at Digital Harvest because that's all that we do. We do search engine optimization, and we do the strategy for it, and then we build the processes and the repeatable things that happen day in and day out on our end to make sure that you show up online. So if you're curious about how that works, about how your business might fit with our model, just book a discovery call with me or somebody from my team. That information is in the description below this video. If you got questions about your campaign, about what you can do, what's possible, we'd love to field that for you, put together a winning strategy that will take you into the future. And with that being said, I appreciate you for watching my video. Make sure you check out the rest of the ones in the description. There's tons of resources there, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now. Thanks so much for watching my video. If you like this one, you'll love some of the other videos we have posted here on our channel that help blue-collar business owners get more out of their digital marketing. So make sure to hit that subscribe button, check out the other videos. If you got questions or comments, post them below. I look forward to catching you on the next video. Bye for now.